That can't be good. That's gonna give you some issues, and that's one of the top 5 problems that you're gonna find on this Volkswagen Jetta 4th generation TDI. And this one happens to be a wagon. Let's get into it. This being the TDI stands for turbocharged direct injection. Now that means that this vehicle is a diesel, but some of these problems do correlate to the regular gas one. Take this cover off. And you can see our EGR valve is right here, and we got this at 1aauto.com. What this actually does is take exhaust gases and recycles it and to burn them up into the intake. And you can see this flap opens and closes, just like that. And that's where the exhaust gases go in and come out there and go into the intake. You can see that the old EGR valve is all gunked up full of carbon, and that's due to the change in temperature between the exhaust gases going, and then once they hit this, they collect up on the side. Now you could clean this up over time if you did it regularly and not have it build up this much. By the time it gets built up this much, you're gonna have to replace the valve. The symptoms you're gonna find with this is a lack of power. You may even, if it gets bad enough, the engine may not even start. You may have a check engine light with a over boost code. There's too much of a restriction right here causing extra boost in front of it, and that's gonna give you an issue right there. So you wanna replace this if you have this situation. The next problem we're talking about is the glow plugs, and they're located right in the front of the engine, right here. The symptoms you're gonna notice with these is a extended crank, or you may even have a check engine light with a glow plug related code. You can see way down here, that's where the glow plug is located, and there's one on each cylinder. And the harness comes up and attaches to all the glow plugs. Now you could have a problem with the harness or the glow plug themselves. Glow plugs are pretty common on diesels. They do wear out over time. They're kind of like spark plugs, but for diesels. What a glow plug actually does is it's a heater to heat up inside the cylinder, so when the diesel fuel is injected, it can ignite and cause the explosion for the piston to go down to keep the engine running. That is it for the diesel-related problems. Everything else is related to all Jettas, not just wagons and not just diesels. Moving on, the next problem is the headlights. The headlight bulbs are constantly burning out, and it always seems like it's the driver's side, the one that's harder to get to because the battery's in the way, that's always burning out. There should be a cover right here. You have to pull that cover off, and then you can access the back side of the headlight assembly. But for the most part, getting your hands down in there, it's pretty difficult. You're gonna have to remove the battery just to access this. This is what you're looking at on the back side of the headlight bulb. You're gonna pop these clips off and this cover comes off. Then you can access the headlight bulb right there. There isn't really any updates you can do to prevent this problem. It's always a good idea to keep a couple extra headlight bulbs in your glove compartment. It may be due to excessive heat, especially on the driver's side. Another problem you're gonna have is the water pump. The symptom you may see is the engine overheating, and it's due to the fact that the impeller is made of plastic. Over time it breaks down and it just doesn't even spin. The engine is spinning and it's just sitting there. Coolant's not able to flush through the engine to cool it down. And the water pump in this case is driven off the timing belt, so while you're in there, you want to replace the timing belt as well so you don't have problems down the road. The final problem is the rear coil springs. You may notice a vehicle that's riding low in the back, and it's probably due to the coil springs actually breaking. Over time, the finish on the spring itself may wear out and allow rust and moisture to get in there. As it rusts, it makes the metal weak, and that's where you're going to have a break. If you hit a good-sized bump or a pothole or anything like that, then that breaks and the rear suspension is sagging. The only thing to do is to replace the coil spring. Here we have our new coil springs in here that, along with the other parts, we got these at 1aauto.com. If you enjoyed the video and it helped you out, make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring the bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Over time, the finish on, oh, what the heck was that? That's a boomer. Okay. right?
That's right.
That's right. That's what I said.
Boom. One left.